stop. Before you fill out a single new form, before you pay anyone a dime to rush file anything, listen to me for 1 minute because someone is trying to scare you out of your money. Maybe you saw it. A headline screaming that if you were born before a certain year, there are 5 brand new tax forms you must file before the end of the month, or else. Heart pounding, calendar checked. Maybe you were about to call some filing service you found online. Here's the truth, straight from the IRS's own website. There is no special mid-year deadline for seniors. There are no 5 new forms, and nobody can take away a tax break you've already earned just because you missed a date that doesn't exist. The scare is fake, but there is something real underneath it, a brand new deduction worth up to $6,000, and I'm going to show you exactly how to claim it for free. My name is Artur. I've spent more than 20 years helping American retirees protect their benefits and read the government's fine print so they don't have to. That's what this channel is about, telling you the truth in plain English, the way I'd tell my own father at his kitchen table. So here's my promise to you for the next 40 minutes. I'm going to show you exactly what's real and what's a lie in that scary headline. I'll show you the one actual new tax break for seniors, who qualifies, and how much it's worth. And I'll give you 3 simple free steps to claim every dollar you're owed and to make sure you never get fooled by a fake deadline again. Stay with me to step 3 especially, because that's the step that protects you not just this year, but every year. It's the one that stops the scammers cold, and it costs you nothing. Get a cup of coffee, get a pen if you like. Let's separate the truth from the trap together. Before we get into it, I want to tell you about Robert. Robert is 71 years old. He lives in Florida in a quiet community near Tampa. He worked his whole life as a delivery driver, raised 3 kids, and now he and his wife Margaret live carefully on Social Security and a small pension. Robert is a careful man. He's not careless with a dollar, never has been. One evening, Robert was watching videos on his tablet, and one popped up with a big red headline. Born before a certain year, 5 new tax forms, you must file before the deadline. Robert's stomach dropped. He'd already filed his taxes back in the spring. Had he missed something? Was the government about to come after him? The video flashed an official-looking seal and a phone number, and a friendly voice said a senior filing specialist could handle it all for him for a fee. Robert did everything right his whole life. But in that moment, scared and rushing, he made one mistake. He almost called that number. He had the phone in his hand. The specialist was going to charge him $199 to file emergency forms, and worse, they wanted his Social Security number and his bank account details over the phone. Thank God Margaret walked in and said, "Let's call the real IRS first." And when they did, they learned the truth. There was no surprise deadline. There were no 5 new forms. The whole thing was built to frighten him into handing over his money and his personal information. Here's the most painful part. And the reason I'm telling you this story. Robert almost paid $200 and exposed his bank account to claim something that was completely free. And thousands of seniors every single tax season don't have a Margaret walk in at the right moment. They make the call, they lose the money. Sometimes they lose a whole lot more. And Robert is not alone. The IRS itself warns year after year that scams using fake deadlines and fake new forms specifically target older Americans because the fear works. So let me make sure that fear never works on you. Let me show you what's actually true. Let's break this down piece by piece. I'm going to take each scary claim from that headline and hold it up to the light using the IRS's own words. Then I'll show you the real opportunity hiding underneath. First claim, born before 1971. Here's what the IRS actually says. The real tax break for older Americans, the one these scammers are twisting, is called the Enhanced Senior Deduction. And to qualify for the 2025 tax year, the rule is that you must have been born before January 2nd, 1961. In plain English, that means it's an age 65 rule. If you turn 65 by the end of 2025, you're in the right age group. That's it. There is nothing in the tax law about being born before 1971. That number is invented. Somebody made it up to cast a wide net, so more people would panic and click. A made-up birth year is your very first red flag that a headline is lying to you. So what should you do with this fact? Remember the real number, born before January 2nd, 1961, for tax year 2025. If a video gives you a different year, you already know it's not telling the truth. Second claim, 5 new tax forms just released. Here's what the IRS actually says. For the 2025 tax year, the IRS released exactly one new schedule. One. It's called Schedule 1A. And it's not some separate emergency document. It simply attaches to your normal tax return, your Form 1040, the same return you file every year. Let me translate that. A schedule is just an extra page that goes with your regular tax form. This one page covers several of the new deductions from the recent tax law. Things like no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, car loan interest, and the senior deduction. One page, not 5 forms, not a stack of paperwork, and absolutely not something you file separately in a panic. So what should you do with this fact? Know that the real thing is one ordinary schedule that your tax preparer or free tax software handles automatically. There's no secret pile of forms you're missing. Third claim, and this is the dangerous one. Seniors must file before the deadline. Now here is the part that most people, including, frankly, a lot of folks sharing these videos, get completely wrong. There is no special mid-year tax deadline for seniors. None. It does not exist anywhere in the IRS calendar. Here's what the IRS actually says. The deadline to file your individual tax return for the 2025 tax year was April 15th, 2026. And if you needed more time, you could file one simple form, Form 4868, for an automatic extension all the way to October 15th, 2026. That's the whole calendar. April 15th or October 15th with an extension. Any other date you're shown is fake, invented to make you rush. And rushing is the whole game. Scammers use fake deadlines on purpose because when you're scared and in a hurry, you stop thinking clearly. You hand over your social security number. You read off your bank account. You pay a fee for emergency filing. That urgency is the weapon. The moment a headline tells you that you have just days to act or you'll lose everything, slow down. That feeling of panic is exactly what they're trying to create. So what should you do with this fact? When you see a sudden, scary deadline, do the opposite of what it wants. Don't rush. Stop and check with the real IRS before you do anything. Fourth claim, you must file, like it's mandatory. Here's the truth. The senior deduction is not a mandatory new form you're required to rush and file under threat. It's an optional benefit. It either applies to you or it doesn't, and you simply claim it on your regular return if you qualify. Nobody is going to penalize you with a surprise fine for not filing a special form by a special date. That's not how this works. So what should you do? Relax your shoulders a little. There's no hidden mandate hanging over your head. There's just a benefit you may be able to claim. Now let me tell you about the real opportunity, because there genuinely is good news buried under all that noise. Here's what the IRS actually says. For tax years 2025 through 2028, if you're 65 or older, you may be able to claim an enhanced senior deduction of up to $6,000 per person. If you're a married couple and both of you qualify, that's up to $12,000. You need a valid Social Security number, and you can take this whether you use the standard deduction or you itemize. Let me translate the word deduction, because people nod along without always knowing it. A deduction lowers the amount of your income that gets taxed. So if you can deduct $6,000, the government taxes you as if you earned $6,000 less, and your tax bill goes down. How much is that really worth in your pocket? It depends on your tax bracket. That's the rate your top dollars are taxed at. For a senior in the 12% bracket, a $6,000 deduction saves roughly $720. In the 22% bracket, it's about $1,320. Real money every year for 4 years. There is one income limit to know. The deduction starts to shrink once your income climbs above $75,000 if you're single, or $150,000 if you're married filing jointly. So this is aimed squarely at everyday middle-income retirees, people like Robert and Margaret. And here's one more truth I need you to hear, because it's another myth floating around. This deduction does not mean Social Security is now tax-free. The law did not change how your Social Security benefits are taxed. This is a separate deduction that lowers your overall taxable income. Many seniors end up owing less, but if you go in believing your benefits are automatically tax-free now, you could make a real mistake on your return. So what should you do with all of this? Make sure you actually claim the deduction if you qualify, and claim it the free way, which I'll show you right now in the action plan. All right, here's your action plan. Just 3 steps, not 7, not 5. 3, because 3 is what you'll remember. Everyone is free and everyone protects you. Step 1. Verify before you trust. Call the real IRS or check the real website. If you ever see a scary headline about a new form or a sudden deadline, do not call the number in the video. Instead, go straight to the official source, irs.gov, or call the IRS directly. The real IRS will never demand that you rush to file a surprise form by a sudden deadline, and they will never ask for your bank details or social security number over the phone out of the blue. This check takes a few minutes and it's free. It's the single most important habit you can build. Step 2. Get free, qualified help to claim your real deduction and never pay a scammer. There are 2 trusted programs built exactly for seniors, and both are completely free. The first is the IRS's own program, Tax Counseling for the Elderly, at 800-906-9887. The second is AARP Foundation Tax-Aide at 888-227-7669. These are real trained volunteers who will help you file correctly and make sure you claim every deduction you're owed, including this new senior deduction. Free, no $200 emergency fee. No handing your bank account to a stranger. Step 3, and this is the one most people skip. If you already filed and missed the deduction, fix it. Don't panic, amend it. Here's what most people don't realize. If you qualified for this deduction in a past year and didn't claim it, you are not out of luck, and you certainly don't need a fake deadline hanging over you. You can file an amended return using Form 1040-X, generally within 3 years, and claim the money you were owed. If you skip this step out of fear or confusion, you simply leave up to $6,000 sitting on the table, money that was yours. So if you think you missed it, call one of those free helplines and ask about amending. Calm, free, and on your own timeline. 3 steps. Verify before you trust. Get free help to claim it. And if you missed it, amend it. No rush, no fake deadline. Now, before you go, I have one small favor, and it genuinely matters. Drop a comment below and tell me one thing. Had you already seen that 5 new forms filed before the deadline headline? Just type yes or no. I read every comment and I reply to as many as I possibly can. Your answer helps me know how far this scam has spread. And here's the big one. If you have a parent, a brother or sister, a neighbor, or a friend who's a senior, please share this video with them right now, especially if they're the type to worry and act fast. This could be the thing that stops them from handing $200 in their bank account to a scammer. You might be the Margaret who walks in at the right moment. That share button is right below and it takes 10 seconds. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday, breaking down exactly these kinds of rules and scams in plain English, because the bad guys never stop and you deserve a friend who tells you the truth. And before you click away, in my next video, I'm breaking down the real, verified $6,000 senior deduction in full detail, with real-life examples of exactly how much different retirees get back. No hype, no fake deadlines, just the honest numbers. Click right here to watch that one next. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Don't let anyone scare you out of your money. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.